Hello. I'm very interested in the way that the internet has created new ways of telling stories. You can tell the same story on multiple different platforms, and it's fascinating. And actually, two very good examples of things that cover it are by my favourite YouTube channels, two of my favourites. One of them being Frederick Knudsen, who does Down the Rabbit Hole series, and he covered something called Mother Horse Eyes, which I'll put in the description. And my other favourite is Rainbot Horror, or one of my favourites, and she covered the Dear David Twitter saga. So it's like the future has unlocked a multitude of different storytelling platforms or something like that. So anyway, I picked out, I haven't really looked at them apart from this first one. I haven't really looked at any of them because I wanted to be surprised. But this first one I just thought was a really good example of it's this comedian. He's on a podcast with Cody Ko and Noel Miller, and if you don't follow those two, you should, because they are hilarious. But they were interviewing Victor Pope Jr. They all do stand-up. He does stand-up, and he also is on Instagram and does like weird sketches on Instagram. And he's a big fan of Andy Kaufman, and basically he does all kinds of things to mess with people. So it's just a bit of a demonstration of the way social media can be used, and such as Instagram. And we'll take a quick look at this specific bit. We will also skip the adverts because I've already watched it anyway.
Also, that shit you did on Instagram of the kid that looked like you, who was that kid?
He doesn't even really look like you. It's like a little bit off.
He doesn't. Somebody sent me a picture of him, and
basically someone sent him, that's Victor Pope Jr. On the left. Someone sent him a picture of someone who really looked like him, so he decided to run with it.
It looks like you. With like a weird face. You're like, I got some work done. And I was like, your face 2 inches wider?
I was fucking howling the first time I saw it. I'm like, what the fuck you do to your forehead, bro?
somebody sent me a picture of him, and I'm just like, yo, he kind of looks like me. And I was like, like I said, I scrolled through my camera. I feel like fucking my followers today. Posted them, got some work done. Everybody's like, what happened?
Oh my god, so good.
You fucking think this is me? And I keep posting them. And people in the comments like, yo, that's not him. Look at his hair. Look at his fucking face.
That's not him.
And then
I can tell by his sideburns a little bit too.
He reaches out to me and I'm like, oh, dope.
Yeah.
Can you make me this video reading this? And he's reading it. He's reading it kind of like slow and shit.
Yep.
He's like, he's not like a performer. So
no.
Like, hey, I'm Victor Pope Jr. I'm gonna be making content soon. Let me comment what type of content.
No, but it was the perfect delivery.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like weirdly slow about it.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Did you get in an accident?
Bro, no, let's talk about the goddamn baby mama raffle. And he fucking, bro.
Basically, yeah, so this guy pretended that it was him and it was Jolly.
Yeah. Then I have his twin come from behind him.
And this guy had a twin.
He came out. Everybody was like, yo, this isn't you. Is this him? What happened to Victor? People think I'm being abducted or some shit. So I have him do a video and he's like, hey, I'm sorry, guys, you got me. I'm not the real Victor Pope Jr. Then I have his twin come from behind him. I'm the real Victor Pope. And I just got it.
I cried when I saw that shit. It's so...
So that's just, I don't know, I find it fascinating. We live in the future. Storytelling has reached new levels. Okay, so we get... Pardon me, sorry. My back is out at the moment and the doctor gave me Valium, so if I seem a bit slow or confused, that's why. This is a Twitter called Terrifying Posts. So let's hope that it is indeed terrifying.
And there's reports.
Okay, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. This is just the first. This is the pinned tweet on that Twitter.
It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room. And there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there. Wait 1 second, John. Amy, are you there? Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too. But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct? John, just wait. We're going to get a hold of the police. So.
There's no context. This is even weirder.
Amy, John's gonna enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind. He says no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary.
I mean, I'm presuming that this is acted.
Freaked out now.
I'm presuming that was acted. That wasn't like, ew. Okay, that's information about body farms, but no one needs to see that. My God, I'm gonna have to put a warning on this video. Footage recorded by hotel security in 2003. Okay, so this is terrifying posts. This is terrifying tweets. Okay, I'm gonna scroll past the body farm picture again, so just be warned. Ah! Right, okay, let's have a look. 2007, a man in Florida. Oh, I see, it's just an amalgamation of different things that different people have posted. When he went to the hospital, they found a bullet in his head. It turned out that his wife had shot him in the head while he was sleeping. God, ice baby. Oh dear. So yeah, the Japanese say you have 3 faces. The first face you show to the world. The second face you show to your close friends and your family. The third face you never show anyone. It is the truest reflection of who you are. I mean, if anyone's seen me pulling faces at myself in the mirror, they'll know that is probably true. Okay, so terrifying posts is just a general amalgamation of. Oh yeah, no, this is true. I do know this about Edgar Allan Poe. It's interesting. Edgar Allan Poe predicted the future. His only novel is about 4 shipwrecked men who run out of food and eat the cabin boy, Richard Parker. 46 years after it was published, a yacht sank in real life and 3 of the 4 survivors also decided to eat the cabin boy named Richard Parker. I believe, what was the name of the novel? It's his only novel, so it's not going to be hard to find. I don't remember. Okay. So that's terrifying posts. If you like that kind of thing, do have a look. Alright. Dark Detour. What was this again? I don't remember. think it might be like let's have it take up the whole page. A multi-platform horror story. Yes, this is interesting. Multi-platform horror anthology told in real time through social media and more. During each episode, you'll travel along as an everyday journey takes an unexpected turn, leading to an unplanned and horror-filled destination. You can look up how it works. Let's just go to season 1, shall we? And just have a look at a couple of those. I don't know what this is. We discover Talbot Griffin, a young musician who is apparently on a road trip across Route 66 to get his big break in Los Angeles. He's posting on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter along the way, and he's gone missing. See, this is good. This is the kind of thing I mean. Like, we've got a YouTube video here, which we'll have a look at in a minute. An Instagram post that they've set up. A tweet. Let's begin at the beginning. We'll just do this page, and then you can have a look at Dark Detour if you wish.
Okay, so there's this friend of mine. Like, he's not a friend. He's more like he's a friend. He's a musician. Well, he's more like an artist. He's like a rock star, musician, artist. He's got this great sound and these great songs, and he's so hot. Anyway, he's driving from New York to Los Angeles to see me. Well, not just to see me, but to become like so famous. I've had all these stickers made. See? And I've like sent them out to all my friends, and they're putting them on lampposts and cars and signs and dogs. Don't ask about the dogs. Anyway, I'm rushing this, and my husband always says, calm down, stop rushing everything, and I always get this way when I'm nervous. I just need him to come over and light one of those lavender candles and calm the heck out of me.
Some of my Valium.
Think about lavender candles, right? Because they're supposed to be so calming. Why are they so calming, right? They're from, like, fields. Like, there's big lavender farms in, like, the south of France or something. And what about lavender farmers? Like, whoa. Like, they must be, like, so, like, zen and calm and,
I feel this might be
floating on a cloud, like, all the time. You know? So my friend Talbot Griffin, that's his name, it's so hot. He's on his way from New York to Los Angeles to become famous. And I've already booked him, like, gigs at clubs and bars, and I've made him posters and stickers.
Okay, so a musician is making a journey. There's his Instagram post. There's his first tweet. Looking back, we discover he's been posting for a while and get a little backstory to the events leading to today. He was a struggling musician in New York. I'm guessing they've made music for the story. Yeah. So they've made a little song to make his character even more real for SoundCloud. It's pretty clever. I like that. I think that's Instagram again. Thingy. Okay. La la la. Oh, well, at the famous gravesite, he got an injury, but that would turn out to be a little problematic. Okay, after returning to New York, he began seeing those Talbot Griffin stickers everywhere. Okay, so there's a story about his arm somewhere. I don't know what. Ooh, what's this? Being the songwriter that he is, Talbot notices all of us, his new followers, and decides to start sharing his songwriting journal with all of us. Oh, okay. It's just that. Let's skim on. Season 1. Story feed. Okay, let's go. Let's go here. Mission bells, but things are starting to get strange. Dead flies. That's a big flower. Okay, try not to freak. Now Rose is showing up in my room. Not cool. His fans are starting to make a subtle connection. Talbot heads back to his secret room, which seems to be his only respite from the terrible fever and headache from his wound he can't seem to shake. Once he feels well enough, he tries to leave the hotel again. I'm taking everyone's advice and checking out of meds, so your amazing fans and friends too now. There's a link there, but I'm guessing it's just to that. But Cersei interrupts him yet again, much to his fans' consternation. Don't know who she is. Gonna stay a little longer. Cersei invited me to a dinner party on the 5th floor. Elevator only goes up to 4. Food before the drive will help. She's some crazy witch lady. An unexpected phone call.
He is nothing to you, and you don't know what you're meddling with. His journey is complete. He came to see me. I can make you see me too. If you'd like me to be the last thing you will ever see. I see you. You've already stepped too close.
Lavish dinner setup. Guess they're ready for Halloween, lol. Yeah, I kind of like the look of that. That's what I want my Halloween dinner party to look like. I don't know what they are. I'm allergic to cashews. I'm guessing he's not noticing that everything's rotten or something. Little creature. Okay, so that's that. I think we've probably had enough of Dark Detour. You can probably have a look if you want. There's something called 2H32, which apparently, if I remember rightly, before I had a look properly, which I haven't, is each video seems random and bizarre, but the more you watch them, the more they kind of make a story or something. So we'll see. Oh yeah, it's all got something to do with the time. Every video is 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Hello. Looks like a Slender Man thing. Visual. Not sure about the song. like a music video or something. Looks like Slender Man. Oh, okay, so it's got something to do with the time. I'm guessing we're going to find that out if you watch them all. When did they begin? So that was the first one. That was 2 years ago, and it's still going. Let's see a newer one, shall we? Oh, he looks good. Let's have a look at him. Just look at this one and then move on.
Suddenly I'm falling.
Oh, I like this a lot better.
I'm falling upright. I was falling. Slow. Twist head over. Feet stretching out. Increasing in speed.
I think it's snowing.
Open wide, but no sound. I thought I was simply and break the void. I see no clouds at all. I thought myself falling. It's a long way down.
Trippy.
Now at the edge of the mountain. It was very dark. Seemed to go down, down, down. Seemed to go down, down, down. Then I stopped going.
Oh. Okay, so I'm definitely curious about this channel. Apparently they all, if you watch all of them, they all relate to some kind of story, so yeah, I want to know more. I mean, he looks good. So 2H32, I'm guessing it's going to mean something. Cool, I like that. Oh look, there's more stuff here. I wonder what they are. Oh, Daisy Brown. Daisy Brown's good. Let's have a quick look at Daisy Brown. Everyone knows Daisy Brown, but she's good. Q&A with Alan. There you go.
As a creative, you know that creating great video is really hard. We built Frame.io to have all the video you're working on and
Daisy Brown's
stop.
thing.
No, it was
Her little creature baby thing really reminds me of the baby from Eraserhead.
time when it started. It has to be straight. Just come over here. Hi guys, it's Daisy Brown here.
Oh, it's got a voice now.
So a lot of you guys are curious, rightfully so, about what's going on with me and Alan, and so I thought we could
That's the
answer
creature.
a lot of your guys' questions. So first we need to talk about Strawberry and what people want to know what happened to Strawberry. Stop! You killed her! Have
People want to know why you did this. Stop! You can't say that. Don't. Why not? Just stop. So a lot of people are wondering about what our living situation is like now. We're still living together. I've chosen to forgive Alan for what he's done. What you did was wrong, but I don't want to fight with you. Because he loves. Stop! I'm trying to be nice right now. Why can't you see that I'm trying? I can't see anything. Why are you like this? Why can't you just be nice for once? I am being nice. I'm answering your questions. So, that's the situation between Alan and I. I'm hurt and I'm upset.
So it's very cool. It started off like the baby from Eraserhead. Let's have a look at the really early thing. Yeah, that's a little bit more about when I last saw it. How I feed Alan. Let's chat about dead silence in the basement. How I feed Alan. This is kind of how it started. Alan was like a baby from Eraserhead.
Hi guys. It's Daisy Brown. I'm just talking to the camera, and I'm gonna show you guys how I feed Alan. He's blind. In case you haven't noticed, his eyes are very foggy. You can't see anything. It doesn't hurt him. He doesn't have any sensation there. He was just surprised. So he is blind and he is a little bandaged up right now. He's having some skin trouble, and as you can see, he's just kind of like nibbling around looking for food. So I'm going to show you. His body is very unique. He can only process sugar, so I'm going to feed him these little sugar tablets. So he is blind. He might be confused. Alan? Here we go. Come on.
It's very creative. I love Daisy Brown. It's very clever. I can imagine a lot of these people ending up in like doing some kind of art in the future, or now even maybe, or working in film, like Alan Resnick from Alan Tutorials. He does stuff for Adult Swim and all kinds of things. The West Records, that was another thing. What was this again? Ah, okay. This is apparently very good. In the spring of 2013, my store received a small external hard drive. The shipment came from the now inactive West Naval Base in rural Massachusetts. The contents of it were corrupt. Since its arrival, I have taken the task of repairing the files. This channel contains a log of what was found. Everything is categorized by date of the files. Nothing you witnessed is a fabrication or dramatization. And there's a dead mouse, great. What is that? A dead thing? Ooh, this looks good already. There's so much effort and creativity that goes into these things that I'm very impressed by how YouTube doesn't just mean putting crap on anymore, you know, and also if you can create a story that spans all social media, which a lot of them do as well. Like, let's have a quick look at the Sun vanished. Rainbow Horror also covered this, but it's a pretty good example of how you can use these platforms to do something good. Basically, this Twitter account is a kind of fiction, like short fiction thing of someone who wakes up one day and the sun's gone, and it's basically them trying to figure out what's going on. Help, it's late in the morning and still dark outside. I can hear the tornado sirens in the next county over, but the weather radar is clear. Where is the sun? And they've got video clips here.
Panic is taking hold on the nation in response to the sudden disappearance of the sun, with violent riots taking place in just about every major city. We are receiving an influx of reports of ransacking and looting from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., with hundreds more isolated incidents coming in hourly. The president made a public statement this morning urging people to remain calm and stay in their homes. Meanwhile, experts are claiming this phenomenon to be an event similar to New England's Dark Day in 1780, and that things will return back to normal.
See, like they've got a pretend news announcer, so it's, it just adds that bit more. The power keeps going out and I keep hearing noises outside, sometimes far away, sometimes close. What's the noises? I can't sleep. I think the noises outside are gunshots. It's still dark. The news said it would be back to normal by now, but it isn't. And it's a picture, no signal. It's just brilliant, I think. I'm so tempted to go outside, should I? So it's like choose your own adventure aspect as well. TV signal is gone, blah blah blah. So they went outside because people voted. I went outside, I saw something out there I can't really explain, but I can show you. Ooh, so yeah. So I'm really curious about that as well. So so that's the sun vanished. Sorry, this Coke is making me really belchy. So I'm trying to not. But okay, so the sun vanished. It's just sorry, the Valium's killed my brain. It's just really impressive. I'm very, I'm excited. I find it exciting. I find this kind of thing really exciting because what's great about it is that it was very clear that it was fiction from the very beginning. It's not just people, I don't know, it's not someone kind of trying to pretend it's real. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just like the fact that it's clearly a fiction right from the start. I just appreciate that. I think it's good. And there was a choose your own adventure thing, which apparently spans plenty of. It goes across Twitter, and I think it might go across different platforms as well. Started by Terence Eden. You should probably be asleep. I've created a choose your own adventure on Twitter. Start here. Pleasant dreams. So here we go. Let's have a look. They're here. Oh God, they found you. Run or hide. If you run, they'll probably catch you because they might be very quick. So let's hide. Oh, it's all different different Twitter accounts, I think. Is it different Twitter accounts? How have they done that? I don't know. There's a pile of rubble you can squeeze under. A metal object glints faintly. Examine. Stay hidden. You gotta examine. I mean, what's the point? All that glisters is not gold. Is that intentional? I don't know. The detonation rips you in half. They feast on your remains. Well, that went well. I just want to see what would happen if I stayed hiding. Your heart beats so loudly, you're sure they'll hear. An hour passes. Wait, look around. I can't help it. I want to look around. Okay. They've gone. Slowly you creep out. Blood is smeared on the streets. You are tired. Surrender. Weep. Well, to be honest, I'd probably weep. Tears stream down your cheeks. You're utterly alone. Are you the last one left? Give in. Carry on. Never give in. Never. Ow, that really hurt my back. Pitch black night. No moon, no stars. Switch on torch. Call out for help. Please help. I don't know who I am. It's very distressing. So let's see what else it says about it here. Background. I'm by no means the first person to attempt running a choose your own adventure on Twitter. Two notable examples are Jonah Peretti, Travelocity Gnome. What's interesting is they both use URLs to direct the user to the next step of the game. La 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 la. Crafting the story. Drawing out the paths for a choose your own adventure is surprisingly hard. You can start with a large sheet of paper or post-it notes and string, or trying to write an interlinking HTML document, but that's effort. Instead, I use the marvellous Inkle Writer. It's a web tool specifically for writing interactive fiction. That's interesting. I didn't know about Inkle Writer. That might be useful. You start by writing in a fairly linear fashion. Oh, they're here. There's a pile of rubble. Then as your paths get more tangled and interlinked, you can switch to a map view. Okay, so this is kind of an ad for Inkle Writer, but I don't think it detracts from what he was doing. I mean, it's just allowing for another way to tell a story, like Gutenberg when he invented the printing press, when he gave someone a book and they had a look at the book and then they said, how did you do this? And he said, well, I created the printing press. They probably didn't go, oh, you're trying to sell me a printing press, take this piece of crap. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that might be it. I want to have one last look at the West records because I'm curious about that one. So let's go. I mean, everyone knows Marble Hornets. That's Scare Theatre, Rainbot. If you're not subscribed to them, and Nightmind is good as well. If you're not subscribed to them, also Nightmare Expo, you really should be, because they're very informative. But what I especially like about Scare Theatre and Rainbot is that they're not like believers in the paranormal, if you see what I mean. Like, I'm fascinated by weird stuff, I'm fascinated by paranormal, horror, that kind of thing, but I'm not actually a believer in any of it. And they're very good at sort of explaining or debunking or that kind of thing. So let's have a look at number 2. Log 1. Okay, log 1 of the West Records. Oh, I've liked it already, look. I don't remember doing that.
Okay.
Clearly I've seen at least this one before.
Oh, heck yeah. That looks sick. Oh yeah. That is pro as hell.
It's law that if you have a cameraman in something, they're a douche.
Randall, professional videographer. Boom. Oh yeah, that's nice as hell.
Come on, where's the story? Some band. Ooh, rides. I like the big wheel, but no one will go on it with me. Because they're too scared. I mean, Bill's partially sighted. That's
Is
my
that
fiance.
rechargeable or does it take batteries?
This takes batteries, son. Which means that we shouldn't waste them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So shouldn't waste them.
Yeah. So, is there any questions that you have for us now that we're all three in the same room? I know you and I have been getting acquainted, but this is Emma.
Yeah. What's up?
Hi, Randall.
She's my co-journalist.
Yeah.
Part of my adventure crew.
What
which
happened?
is now 3 of us.
Oh my god, why is it going
Now,
blue?
I know you
our mascot, man.
mentioned before that the whole thing's on West, but you never
It's got a cat in it, so obviously it's good.
mentioned why we're going in there.
Well, I mean, that's why we're going in there. Nobody knows why.
Yeah, nobody knows why it shut down.
Why it shut
where
down.
all those people went. It was
Wait,
just
what
like
people? What?
there were people, like
3,000
people that were like.
I thought I've
3,000. How?
We don't know.
No. I mean, no. Not how the 3,000 people. How are we gonna get in there?
Oh, we're okay. That's a question I can
It's
answer.
locked down.
All right. So you see,
You said it's locked down like super tight.
it is locked down super tight, but I found that there is an unfenced area that cuts into woods.
There's always a way in, and it'll always
And the
go
trail starts right
wrong.
here.
Uh-huh.
We just take this little trail. Here's a stream we have to cross, an up a rock face. We climb right into. Excuse my hands. Right there.
Right there?
Yes.
I just remembered a story involving myself and a friend. When this is over, I have to tell you.
Right there is where we'll come out.
Okay, you're fine with me filming the maps, right?
I don't care. It's
Okay. I'm just.
It's fine.
It'll be good for the documentary.
Yes, it will.
This one over here. Now legality issues. I know I brought it up before.
I'm willing to do a lot to get a story.
Yeah.
Personally.
Exactly.
I mean, all the best stories, you always have to bend the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not even so much as we're hurting anybody, it's just we're just curious little.
We're gonna find
Yes.
some information. That's what I'm in for. I want a story.
Okay.
I want to be able to tell people what went down in there, just a little bit at least.
When were you thinking about doing all this?
I was thinking about doing it by next week.
Next
You want
week?
to get acquainted with your camera gear and we want
I
to.
think I got it pretty.
I'm gonna make a list of things you'll need.
Pretty good.
I'll be able to give it to you by tomorrow.
Good.
Me though, I've got other pressing engagement. I can unlock up so you guys have the skadoosh. That's without me. So.
Okie dokie.
Okay, okay.
So.
See you tomorrow.
Nice meeting you. Oh, man.
So the acting in that's pretty good. I think it's really good. So I'm definitely going to watch more of that. So there's a few for me to catch up on today. Seeing as Bill's at work, I'm off with on Valium with a bad back. What else do I have to do? So there's that, and there was something else that I just wanted to have a quick look at. Oh yeah, just like a quick look at. I mean, everyone knows about Reddit, like Reddit, Let's Not Meet, and so on. But it's just another way for the future to be able to tell us stories. So I feel it's kind of relevant here. But there's some really good ones. Like sometimes Reddit stories creep me out tons more than things that I read in books. What's this? Oh, it's an advert. Bye. There's one about some guy a lady who let her dog out at night every night, and the dog would scratch to get back in, but she would always check through the not the viewfinder, the like the little window thing in the door before letting the dog back in. And the dog was scratching. She went to let him in, checked, and it was a man. So, no, yeah, they're good. So there's Let's Not Me, Creepypasta, and No Sleep, which is usually fiction. No Sleep is also a podcast. Kind of not that keen on the podcast, no offence, but the quality control is very low. However, Let's Not Meet is usually pretty good for interesting stuff. So yeah, the future. I like the future in terms of fiction. I think that there's not much more I can say about that. So let's head back over to myself. Hello. And bye.